Good morning, Josh.
Good morning, Ian.
And welcome to
The Fact Funnel.
Today we're going to be talking about something called coffee. It's this juice almost of beans and water that is sweeping the nation right now with its delicious flavor and stimulating caffeine.
That's very true. Much like a Dyson vacuum cleaner that swept the nation decades before it, coffee is the new Dyson of juice.
That is so true. And today we're going to be putting coffee shops near us to the test.
We're going to be judging them on 4 major categories. And can you give me those 4 categories, Ian?
Here they are: flavor, texture, smell, and finally, quality. These 4 qualities of the coffee will determine how good it really is.
It's very important to remember that each and every one of these things is so important to the overall quality of the coffee that we can't stress it enough.
Just like Plato with his famous quintessential element, the quintessence of coffee has these 4 flavors. Let's dive in and see what these coffee shops really have to offer.
Are you ready, Ian?
I'm ready, Josh.
Let's do it.
Welcome back. We've just been to some interesting coffee shops,
Yes.
and we're going to report back on the bean brew they served for us. Josh, would you like to give us the first coffee shop?
Sure. Well, let's start with Honu.
Alright, where's Honu? Here it is, right here. Now you can see, we'll show you a little clip of our visit to Honu, so you can see the customer service we received. Good morning, everyone. We're here at Honu Coffee, a local joint here in California. And as you can see by the sign, it is very turtle-based. We're going to check out the coffee here, see what their customer service is like, to make a full review of this place. Let's have a look. Well, looks like it's closed. We'll see how their coffee stacks up though. And now let's look at the coffee. Josh?
Well, just from first glance, there is none.
That's because Honu was closed. So, let's give it our ratings.
Alright.
Remember, we're rating on flavor, color, scent, appearance. Alright, I think I've come to my conclusion, but we'll reveal that after all of them are revealed. So next, now that Honu's done, let's look at Starbucks. Now, you can see our interaction with Starbucks in this short clip.
Hi, welcome to Starbucks. Now, our main problem here with testing the coffee was that we weren't actually able to find the real building, just the drive-thru, and our funding never came in from PBS, so I guess we're just going to have to go without the actual building or anything like it.
Josh, what did you think about Starbucks as overall customer service?
I think they had pretty good customer service. If we could have found the store, that would have been a little bit more helpful to the overall customer experience. But I would give them a pretty good score. But we're not scoring them on customer service, are we, Ian?
Let's look at the coffee. Well, since we couldn't find the restaurant, we couldn't find the coffee. So, let's give it a view.
Remember,
Alright.
we need to cleanse our palate before we taste the next one.
That's true. We don't want the previous flavors to affect our current taste. So
That's true.
Let's have a little palate cleansing butter. This is specially grown in the ground.
I feel cleansed.
Well, I feel like I'm ready to try the next cup of coffee.
Indeed, I am too. So the next place we went was Lamppost Coffee.
We're live.
Hello, and welcome on this chilly morning to Lamppost Coffee House. We're going to see how their coffee is and how their customer service treats us, the distinguished members of the Fact Funnel. Well, unfortunately, just like before, this coffee shop also seems to be closed. But we'll see how their coffee compares to Honu's and to the other major coffee shops.
Here it is. Now it was a nice storefront. They had a lamp, as you'd expect.
It really was.
It was on, but unfortunately, the coffee shop itself was not open. But let's look at the coffee. There was also no coffee since the coffee shop wasn't open. That might affect our ratings.
This seems to be a common theme with coffee shops around the area. So I don't want to be too harsh on them, but at the same time, this may affect their scores negatively.
Let's have a look at the reviews. Alright, for our final cup, let's cleanse our palates one more time.
One more time. We really want to make sure that we're giving all these coffees a fair chance.
We care about the facts, not opinions.
We truly do.
So Josh, what's our final cup of coffee going to be from?
Our final one is the Truck Stop Coffee Shop. Here's a clip from our experience there at the Truck Stop Coffee Shop.
Good morning. We're here at Truck Stop Coffee Shop to look at the Truck Stop Coffee Shop's coffee. We're going to be evaluating their customer service and how they react to us, members of the Fact Funnel, as we buy coffee from them. Let's have a look. Well, looks like there's not even any coffee in here. But we'll see how their coffee compares to the rest of the shops in our ultimate review. Now, as you can see, they had a really good atmosphere, and the mobility of their site was impressive, to say the least.
It's true.
But unfortunately, they didn't have any coffee.
Yeah. Just like coffee previously, this cup is empty. And that's become a major problem for all of these coffee places.
It could affect their ratings, but we're still going to be unbiased.
True.
Let's give it a review. Alright, Josh, I think I've come to some fair yet maybe harsh conclusions about this.
I have too. Sad to say, I am very disappointed by the state of coffee in our beautiful city.
Let's walk through each one and we can explain why we gave it that review. Starting with, let's start with the lampstand. Now, for this one, on taste, I did have to give it a 0 since we couldn't actually get any coffee.
The same for me as well. I mean, how can you taste it when it's not even there?
That's so true. How about, what do you give them for scent or aroma?
I really struggled with this score. I mean, I do love the smell of coffee, but since there was none, I couldn't score it. So, unfortunately, I had to give it a 0.
I had to do the same, as there was no coffee to smell. I think I just smelled the room without the coffee. And
That's very true.
Then for appearance, what did you think?
Appearance was good, but at the same time, I couldn't see it.
If there's nothing to see, I can't give it a good score in good conscience, so I had to give this one a 0 as well.
That's true. And when you really think about it, when you can't see it, you can't see anything bad. But you also can't see anything good.
That is the nature of 0.
That's true.
And finally, let's look at the quality of the coffee. Now, this was a really tough one for me. This is such a broad yet narrow category. But after looking at all and each of the factors individually, I had to give it another 0 as there was no coffee.
Unfortunately, Ian, I did as well. That gives Lamppost an aggregate score of 0.
Divided by 8.
That's true.
Well, let's look on next to Honu. Now, Honu was the first one we tried, but also, it marked all 0s on my page. Josh, how about you?
Same as well. I mean, this was a bad way to start off the trip. When you go to a coffee shop and you don't even get coffee, you can't give them a good score.
It hurt me not to give them anything, but also it didn't because they gave me nothing.
It's true. Moving on, we're going to go to Starbucks. And like we said before, our experience was greatly hindered by the fact that we couldn't find the store and couldn't grab any coffee. So I had to give it a complete score of 0.
I did as well. I was disappointed that they had a lit up sign so far away from any kind of coffee shop, almost to distract us.
It's true.
I'm just not sure. Maybe some coffee enthusiasts out there in the comments can give us some tips on how to find these restaurants better, but for now I had to give it a 0 as well.
It's difficult. When will the deception stop?
Maybe with the Truck Stop Coffee Shop,
Perhaps.
but maybe not, as I also gave this stop a 0 because they seemed to be out of coffee. All that was in the truck bed was a couple little boxes, which I don't think had any coffee in them.
We didn't want to inspect too closely as we didn't want to cross the line as far as privacy goes, but there was no aroma of coffee and therefore there was no coffee. So I personally gave it a 0.
I gave it a 0 as well. So that brings our aggregate score for coffee over the entire United States to a 0. I think that it really says something, Josh, about this whole trend of drinking coffee. Look at this. 0s across the board. Can you really respect a trend that doesn't even get 1 positive rating?
I hope this has been eye-opening for you and really helps you to realize the sad state of bean juice in our great nation. We need to strive for better things.
I'm sure other countries are doing this better. We need to look to them, talk to their leaders, talk to their Starbucks employees, find out what are they doing differently? Why is this failing in America?
Talk to your senator. Talk to your congressman.
They're only a phone call away.
It's true.
And for now, we have been
The Fact Funnel. Thank you for watching.